looking for Fishman because everybody else was ready. And it was about 4 in the afternoon, and we woke him up, and he said, "Hey, you try getting up at 4 in the afternoon to do a photo, to have a picture taken." But what I noticed first about this band and all their fans was really family. There was a lot of loyalty, a lot of family.
Goddamn right.
I got a gig from Spin magazine. I went out to see them. I noticed the loyalty and family in the fans as I was approaching the venue. And then when I got backstage and saw the band, I noticed that same vibe back there. You had the tour manager, the band manager, the lighting designer, the guitar tech. They were all family, and you really couldn't even tell them apart from each other, except for the guy in the dress. So I noticed there was a lot of inside jokes that no one would really get unless they were a Phish fan. I noticed that a lot of them took me several years to figure out. I started to feel like some family when I became the butt of some of those jokes. First of all, they started to name all my cameras, funny names. And they were disappointed when I saw them backstage and I didn't have the Wild Ox, which is a Wide-Lux camera that I used to photograph with all the time. Also, Fishman began to say that he had a hard time concentrating when he was speaking with me because he said I sounded like Winnie the Pooh. He demanded that I say, "Boy, I sure would like some honey." So I felt like I was part of the family. So back to family. Now, the musical family that they had. Here's 4 guys, and I bought some photographs. I don't know if they're going to show them or not. This is my cue. This is 4 guys who could get 100,000 people together and make them all feel. Exclusive club.
I know, right?
We all saw that at Big Cypress. You guys were all at Big Cypress, right? Again, bringing the family together. Their adventurousness. The next photo is. It makes me think of their adventurousness, their willingness to go out on a limb with their own music and play without a safety net, to count on each other for support. And if they made a mistake, that's fine, but it was all in the sake of making great music. This photo here, they're all playing each other's instruments, I believe, which was always really exciting. It was a fearlessness that they had, and again, back to family. They were family, they could count on each other. They were also unafraid to try other people's music. Think about all the bands they covered. Remain in the Light and The Wall and the White Album. Really, really going for it. And also, think about all the musicians who are willing to play on the stage with them. I think one of them's playing up in the Garden tonight, right? Okay. All right. So, for example, you got Kid Rock, who's... So you got Kid Rock. And I was the lucky guy. I got to go backstage, and they would never let anybody else in there, but because they were like, "Man, we have Kid Rock here. We gotta let someone in to take some photographs of us." So I would get to go backstage and photograph. It was just fantastic moments. Then there was B.B. King in New Jersey. I got a tip from somebody who said, "Danny, you better come out to Jersey tonight. It's gonna be good." And then there was this really sums it up. You've got that guy from Brooklyn coming out to Coney Island. Coming out to Coney Island to sit in these guys. Big Pimpin', 99 Problems. They're working out the songs in those photos. So this just goes to show you, the reach of the music of this band. And I feel really honored to be part of that family. I think that I hope to hear them play together again. And enough from me. Trey, Mike, Phish, Paige.
Just about an hour and a half ago, I was lying in a bed, sick from working too hard and stuff like that. And I was just thinking, can I get up? Can I get up? Popping Advils into my mouth. And then I was thinking, well, to get to stand with my oldest friends and deepest brothers ever in the same location, with all of my other friends standing around, of course I can get up, come down the street. So thanks so much. This means a lot.
How many of you haven't heard the prison joke yet? Well, I'm not going to tell it now either.
Thanks, you guys. To all the fans, thank you.
I don't want to be the one to blab on for a long time, but I do want to blab on for a long time. Thanks, everybody. I just want to say that I want to express something that's been on my mind for like the last 5 years, and that's, I don't know, I've always wanted to somehow have a moment when I could convey to some degree what all of this meant to me, and I know to the other guys too, that we would talk at a lot of different times, and it always felt like we were part of something that was so much bigger than the four of us. I think in retrospect, it feels like it was even bigger than our, like, you know, our group of friends and our scene. It felt almost like a cultural kind of timing thing that I feel like, I'll see if I can explain what I mean, but I feel like as a musician, I feel like we're servants, you know? And that musicians from the beginning of time have been there to express the mood and the musical feelings in the air for whatever's going on in that particular culture, whether it's like, you know, rock and roll or swing band music. You play at weddings, you play at funerals, and it's the greatest joy as a musician to be able to translate that and be part of something and watch the scenery around you. That's what it felt like being in Phish all those years. And one of the things that we talked about before we came is it's an honor, and I feel such gratitude. And I feel so honored to have been there, watching everybody dance and watching the whole thing just kind of, it's almost like watching a movie. So thank you so much for letting us be part of your experience. Don't turn on the walk-off music. I just wanted to say that. The other thing is that Phish really genuinely was much bigger than the four of us, and there's I just wrote down a list of some people that have to be thanked. First and foremost on that list is our manager, John Paluska, who is one of the most incredible people, and it was a great honor to work with him, and so much of what happened, you know, is due to him. I'm just going to list out some other people. I want to thank Amy Skelton, Beth Montori Rolls, some of you know, Jason Colton, Kevin Shapiro, and my dear, dear friend Brad Sands, he's standing right over there. Hi, Brad. Richard Glasgow, Hatton Hipsley. Our sound man, Paul Languedoc. My other dear friend, Tom Marshall. Steve, the Dude of Life, Pollock, who I think is here. And our business manager, Bert Goldstein, and Danielle Brand, and Chip Hooper, Brian Brown, my guitar tech, Kevin Brown, Mark Bradley, and our bus driver, Dominic Placco, and Chris Carota. Oh, and John Langenstein. And last thing, I want to say a word. My mentor, who taught me much about music, Ernie Stiers, as I was driving down here today, I received word that he passed away a couple days ago. And I want to just thank him because so much of that unique sound that you heard with Phish was taught to me by him. And I just want to honor his memory right now. Thank you guys so much for 20 years. We really appreciate it.